the sensory function of fascia is something that could honestly be a presentation in and of itself, and not one that I am qualified to give by any means. But if we start back with that broad point, and this was from a study from Robert Schleip a number of years back, that the fascial tissue is embedded with up to 6 times the amount of proprioceptive bodies as compared to the muscle tissue. And there's also been some suggestion that the free nerve endings and the presence of free nerve endings is more dense in fascial tissue, or at least in certain regions, than we would see in even like the retina of the eye. So it's a highly innervated tissue in terms of sensory bodies and proprioceptive bodies. And at the end of the day, the neurology and the proprioceptive function of our tissue is really what allows for movement, expression, and ability. If we don't have the proper signaling, then we're not going to be able to produce the right outcomes. So when we think about, let's take foam rolling, for example, and manual therapy is shown here. Strength coaches are very quick to be dismissive to this and suggest that this is just, foo-foo type of treatment and it's a waste of time and we don't need this. And, I profoundly disagree with that. And I think that there is, certainly an application to this. And when I think about manual implements or interventions, I think about it as creating a transient window for optimal stress adaptation. So in other words, if we have something like a manual treatment on the hamstring group, what that is doing is it is essentially stimulating the proprioceptors and the mechanoreceptors, which are found in the fascial tissue, to be alerted for loading. So it works very similarly to like a chiropractic intervention, where when we do a chiropractic adjustment, that creates this transient window of, X amount of time, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is, to then go apply load to the spine. Well, the manual work on the tissues works in a similar way, in that if we can kind of pre-activate or pre-stimulate the tissues, then it's going to create a better opportunity for whatever those inputs are to follow. On the back end of it, the SMR, the manual techniques, may help with soreness and just kind of stimulating recovery by inhibiting some of the nociceptive bodies and the free nerve endings. So again, it's not that it is taking away your soreness, it is that it is providing an accelerated opportunity for the biology and for the body to do what it needs to do to get you back to equilibrium. So these are things that aren't going to take away pain purely, or if you go do an SMR application, you're going to go set records and break all your PRs every time. But what it is doing is it's helping to keep you closer to that optimal window, or that equilibrium point, for creating a better environment to apply load and to apply stimulus. And that's where I think this stuff really comes into play, is that it is a great assistant to the main dish or to the training that's going to be applied.